Hi, I'm Vito. Welcome to Vito Sound Studios. This space is fully equipped to record full bands, podcasts, and even live stream with a multicam setup. Let me show you around the space. The brains of the operation are these two desktop PCs. One handles video and the other one handles audio. The audio one is mostly handling Cubase and the video one is mostly handling vMix and Premiere Pro. They're both i9s with 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. The vMix one has a Blackmagic Decklink quad capture that takes in 4 cameras from around the room, and they're both running NVMe 2 drives with 4 terabytes and 2 terabytes respectively, with 1 terabyte NVMe 2 drives for booting up. Over here we have the rack, which is the central piece that does the routing of both audio and video in the studio. The X32 Rack is handling all of the audio routing, and the Focusrite 18i20 is sending audio to the video computer from a mix on the X32 Rack. There's also 2 mixes going to a headphone amplifier that is sending headphone signals to around the room, so musicians can be anywhere and just plug in and listen to what's going on while we're recording. And this really cool video matrix is a 8-in, 8-out HDMI matrix, so it allows me to take in 8 video signals, be it the cameras, the computers, or even a guest computer, and send it to any of the screens that we have situated around the room. Over here at the desk, I got a couple screens, and I'm running a Behringer X-Touch to control my DAW, which is Cubase. I've got a Stream Deck to control vMix, to cut between cameras. I do the live editing while we're filming bands in here, and then I touch it up a little bit later. So we're recording all those live, and I'm live switching them. And we can do that for live streams as well. So if we have a band or a podcast or an artist in here, we can live stream them and switch between all the cameras. We have the Yamaha HS7s are my monitors, and I have the Yamaha sub to match. Shout out to my buddy Alexi, who could not keep his sub in his apartment building. Thank you for donating it to the space. Around the room, we have this Akai MPK 249, which is pretty sweet for programming keys MIDI or drums MIDI. We have the Sony A7 IIIs. We got a couple of these in here, and we have a GoPro style camera in the ISO booth to capture a POV of the drummer. The cameras are all feeding the video computer, as I mentioned, through the Decklink quad capture. We've got a couple of SM58s just in the room that are here to feed the video stream so that when the band stops, we still have a live feel in the room. You can hear musicians talking, and it also provides a monitor for this room if somebody wants to call out signals to the drummer in the other space. We've got a screen back here, and we've got a large screen up above the desk that allows everybody in the room to see what's going on, or a guitar player back here to see his chord chart, or a plugin in this case, or a tuner. Whatever they need, they can even bring in their own laptop, plug it in, and I can provide them with that here. The acoustic panels around the room are 6 inches thick of Roxul Safe and Sound. I built them with 1x4 lumber, and they are off of the wall with corks to allow sound to go behind, not just in front. Around the room, we have this 1-inch gutter that's behind the baseboards, and it provides space to run cabling for inputs, or, for example, we have the headphone extensions right here. So musicians can be back here, plug in. They kind of perform in this area when we're filming our videos, or we do vocals in here too sometimes, so that we can keep the drums in the back room. We've got the systems on the back wall of the room, which are necessary to keep the space cool and comfortable, and the humidity under control, which is super important when you have gear. This is a Mitsubishi mini split, and it's able to run at 19 decibels from a meter away, which, if you don't know what that means, it's basically quieter than a whisper, and it's still cooling the space. We also have this air exchanger, because believe it or not, when you close up the space, you still need oxygen to come in, fresh air from outside. And speaking of comfort, we've got sort of a living room vibe in here, from the love seat to this chair here, and this lovely 11 by 14 rug that really ties the room together. The electrical, there's a couple different circuits on each wall, and I've had some people say to me, did you forget about electricity? Why is it on the surface? And the answer is that I didn't want to put 12 holes in a soundproof room to allow sound to leak through. So shout out to my cousin Robbie. He did an excellent job running the conduit and the electricity around the room. We've got my guitar rack here and the absolutely necessary dehumidifier. Now let me show you the ISO booth. In here we've got the drums set up, but we can record vocals or anything that needs to be isolated in this space. Right now we've got a SM91 inside of the kick. We've got a D112 on the outside of the kick. We've got a couple SM57s on the toms and the snare top and bottom. Yes, these are SM58s on the hi-hat and ride. Don't come at me in the comments. Most of the work for the cymbals and overheads are being done by these beautiful AKG C214s that we have above. The drummer has the ability to have a headphone mix, but we also have a little monitor on the floor for if they're just jamming and we're not actually recording. Everything is being routed through the S16 over here, which is connected with an Ethercon cable and sends the channels to the X32 Rack in the other room. Over here, we've got a couple screens set up as well so that the drummer or vocalist can see the Cubase timeline, lyrics, a chord chart, whatever they need to see, including an isolated camera of the bass player in the other room if they would like. This room also has the acoustic panels around the walls, but one cool thing is that this acoustic panel is hiding the electrical panel of the entire studio. So, fun little hidden secrets of the space. Back here we've also got some toys for drummers to play with, and yes, they are literally my kids' toys. We've also got a Yamaha DT Express 2 digital drum kit. If someone so pleases, they could play digital drums. And above head, we've got a acoustic cloud that I built. There's two in the other room as well. These acoustic clouds are also 6 inches thick, and they're made of Roxul Safe and Sound. And the difference between these and the acoustic panels on the wall is that I put rails across the middle. This panel has 3 lights built into it. The ones in the other room have 6 each. These are Philips Hue 5.6 downlights, and that allows us to control the color, the hue, the temperature of every light in this space independently and really set a mood if we want to get into it. Lastly, let me show you the window and the wall in between this space. The window between the control room and the ISO booth is a 2 foot by 3 foot double pane window that I built with a 1/2 inch piece of glass on one side and a 5/8 inch piece of glass on the other side. They're not actually touching in the middle, and the in-between is done with Sonopan that I covered in the same fabric that I used for the acoustic panels for a little artistic continuity. And then the bottom actually has some desiccant silica gel buried inside to absorb any sort of moisture created by humidity or temperature changes between the two rooms. This is put into a staggered stud wall for the most isolation we could possibly have between the two. And each wall, both sides of this and all the exterior walls in this place, have 2 layers of drywall, 5/8 drywall, 1/2 inch drywall, then Sonopan, followed by furring strips that are hanging on studs with Roxul Safe and Sound inside for the most isolation we possibly could have. And it's pretty darn good. And then finally, the absolute most difficult thing to build in this entire space was this double door to create an air seal between the two rooms. And you can actually feel it when you pull it. And it's got a marine grade weather stripping all around so that when you close it, it is actually sealed shut. And that's it for the tour. Hope you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see what goes on in the space, and I hope to see you soon.